It's a common saying that the streets lead to only two things, jail or an early death. Throughout the years, drill music has served as a perfect reminder of this. It seems like every year, a drill rapper either gets locked up or killed. It doesn't matter how rich and famous they become or what city they're in, their story far too commonly ends the same way. Most of these rappers are gang members first and rappers second, leading to them never being able to leave the streets behind. Recently, three drill rappers from two different cities did a song together, and months later, all three of them are gone. They were each killed 1 month after another in three different crazy scenarios. In this video, we'll be telling their stories. Bloodhound Little Jeff, real name Jeffrey Harris, is a rapper and gang member from the east side of Chicago. He had two brothers and was raised primarily by his mother, as his dad wasn't really around. He quit playing basketball after he didn't make the varsity team, so he looked for something else to do with his life. His rough upbringing led to him gravitating towards the streets. When Jeff was just 14 years old, his house was shot up and a bullet flew by his face, nearly hitting him. His older brother was active in the streets and would introduce Jeff to it. He officially jumped off the porch at 18 years old. Jeff was a member of a set called Drill City / Bloodhound, which claims the area of 79th in Maryland. They beef with BKN, TYMB, 8 Trey Mob, and 800. Their biggest ops are Trap City. Little Jeff was wild. He openly hinted on multiple occasions that he had over 10 bodies and that he was a top killer in Chicago. Jeff rose to fame after publicly claiming and bragging about committing the viral double murder of two Chicago teenagers that allegedly stole a watch from him. Whenever a drill rapper builds the reputation of being a killer and living their raps, their views start to rise exponentially. Due to all of the self-snitching that he was doing for the double murder, Little Jeff's music began to garner hundreds of thousands of views. As his fame was rising, he started doing interviews with major platforms like DJU, and he had viral moments on there that further increased his fame. Despite the fame he was gaining, Little Jeff was still roaming the streets actively, looking to kill his enemies. This bloodthirst would ultimately lead to his death. On June 8, 2024, Little Jeff was in the 6600 block of South Roads around 5:14 p.m. with other members of Bloodhound, and they were there looking to kill a member of Trap City. They were in Trap City territory, and once they spotted a Trap City member, they all hopped out of their vehicle and started shooting. The whole incident was caught on camera, and Little Jeff can be seen in a black hoodie chasing down and shooting at a Trap City member. Jeff chased the Trap City member into a house where someone within the house returned fire and shot Jeff in the chest. Jeff was then reportedly shot over 15 more times in the chest before his friends were able to pick him up and flee the scene. Jeff was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at just 21 years old. Just 1 month after this, the next person from the music video would lose their life to the streets. Little Scoom, real name Asarian Hogan, was from the east side of Chicago. He grew up on 87th to 89th in Burley and was a member of a set called the Burley Boys. Similar to Jeff, he had an up and down relationship with his father and was raised primarily by his mother. He was originally a basketball player, but as time went on, he started to drift more and more to the streets. Scoom would always do little petty crime here and there, but he fully jumped into the streets at age 15. He eventually started rapping and began building a name for himself. Eventually, he met Little Jeff and the two of them developed a close friendship. Scoom had serious beef in the streets. He would make posts on his Instagram story dissing his dead ops. In the last interview he did prior to his death with the YouTuber DJU TV, Scoom bragged about how anyone that dissed him or his crew would end up dead. In that same interview, he also dissed FBG Duck and every gangster disciple in Chicago. Additionally, he dissed Jacksonville rapper Fulio, even though they didn't even know each other, and he was laughing about Fulio's death. As I mentioned earlier, Scoom was very close to Little Jeff. In the DJU interview, Scoom said that he went to the same school that the two kids Jeff is rumored to have killed went to, and that he dropped out after that incident happened. As you can see, Scoom couldn't leave the streets alone. Scoom was very talented and was beginning to blow up as a rapper. Despite his rising fame, the streets would catch up to him before he could fully capitalize on it. On July 7, 2024, at about 11:50 p.m., Scoom and a 16-year-old friend of his were arguing with someone in the 700 block of East 89th Place when the person opened fire, striking them both. Scoom was shot twice in the chest and was taken to University of Chicago Medical Center, where he passed away at just 18 years old. His friend was shot in both thighs and was taken to the same hospital where he survived his injuries. There's been widespread rumors that little Scoom was set up by a female to be killed. A Ring doorbell camera footage was released that shows Scoom with his friends and a girl. This video has furthered the internet's theory that he was backdoored. However, this has not been officially confirmed.
Mommy? I told you I don't have no key. I take it on the camera. I don't have no key. Like, is you slow?
No, but I'm good as but it's easy to penetrate.
Yeah.
You know, boom.
I'm supposed to. Why y'all ain't just come to that?
Is the back door? No. What you mean, mommy?
After Scoom and his friends were shot, Chicago police spotted a gun-toting suspect running away from the scene and pursued him on foot. The suspect shot at officers during the chase. A 10-1 emergency call was made, indicating an officer needs immediate backup, resulting in police response from multiple districts and the CPD SWAT. Despite this, the suspect still escaped, and at the time of making this video, there have been no arrests. A little over a month later, the final person from that music video would lose their life. YBC Duel, real name Abdul Vix, was from North Philadelphia, but moved to West Philadelphia when he was 10 years old. He jumped into the streets at a young age and caught his first case at 14 years old for stealing a car. Eventually, he and his friends formed the group YBC, standing for the Young Bag Chasers. YBC would go on to become one of the most hated gangs in Philly. YBC has allegedly committed dozens of murders and has beef throughout the whole city. Due to this, the pain and suffering that they were dishing out would also fall back to them. According to Duel, most of his friends are either dead or in jail. Numerous YBC members have been indicted for murders over the years. Duel would start rapping about him and his gang's activities in the streets. He was given the nickname Mr. Disrespectful by his fans due to how he excessively dissed the dead on songs and on social media. Nearly every song he has is him name-dropping his dead enemies and mocking their deaths. He took dissing to an extreme level. He once went to a graveyard and pretended to dig up the grave of one of his dead ops.
Got no f***ing tombstone, I'm gonna dig his dirt up. Hey, yo, where the f*** Carney at, yo? Carney, where the f*** you at? Ah!
All of this negativity placed a giant target on Duel's back, and it would eventually catch up to him. On August 23, 2024, Duel was riding in a car in the 5500 block of North 6th Street in the Olney neighborhood when his car pulled up behind a bus at a light. Moments after his car stopped, another car pulled up beside him and a gunman hung out the window and opened fire. Duel was shot multiple times in the chest and hand. He was taken to Einstein Medical Center, where he would be pronounced dead at just 25 years old. The whole incident was caught on surveillance camera. Police would later find the stolen car used by Duel's attackers abandoned and burning in a lot. A 16-year-old named Aiden Waters was arrested and charged with Duel's murder. The saddest thing about this is that all three of them in interviews said that they wish things could have been different and that they wanted to get themselves and all of their loved ones out of this lifestyle. All of them were asked what they wanted for the future, and all three said that they wanted to leave the cities they were in and live a regular life away from the streets. Unfortunately, the devil has a real hold on the youth and is making stories like this commonplace. Hopefully one day, kids could look at these stories and choose to do something different with their lives. The lifestyle shown in drill music has been glorified, but all it leads to is pain and suffering. Let me know what you guys think about the situation in the comment section, and please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.